logistics of all these people arriving, but the politics of it all, how they're dealing with the people and how they're dealing with Tripoli.
I think they're caught really between a rock and a hard place. They have incredible economic investments in Libya, and Libya has economic investments here. The hotel that I'm speaking to you from has a Libyan flag flying directly out front of it. So there are economic connections here that the Maltese government is very aware of. They don't want to put those at risk, especially if Gaddafi is going to stick around. That was certainly evident today. We were at a press conference where the Libyan ambassador decided to downplay things, saying this was an insurrection, not a revolution. He called on journalists, he said, to be more fair, to go see for themselves what was happening in Tripoli. He invited Maltese journalists to take a flight that was supposed to happen this afternoon to go to Tripoli to take a look at the streets. That flight was later canceled in the day. So I think the Maltese government is caught in the middle here. They don't want to give up necessarily on Gaddafi until it's absolutely over, and they know that those economic investments are no longer going to be safe.
All right, Cal Perry live in Valletta. Thanks, Cal. Now we'll move on to some other world news in just a moment. Predictions of a Tunisia-style revolution for South Africa as violent protests there escalate. And what next for the founder of WikiLeaks? Julian Assange has lost his fight against extradition to Sweden for the moment.
As a slight chill spreads across Melbourne, we'll find a way to perk you up.
Welcome back to International Weather Forecast. First of all, starting in the United States, we have seen quite nice weather across the southeast part of the United States over the last week. That is all changing, though. Take a look at the satellite image. These clouds right here are the beginning of some severe weather we expect to see from Friday night into Saturday. Now take a look at the forecast. Notice all this rain shower activity here. That is where we expect to see the severe weather. And when I say severe weather, we're talking about strong winds, hail, as well as tornadic activity. Up to the north towards parts of Boston, New York, as well as Washington, that's all going to be different. We're looking at some very heavy rain and snow and possibly some travel delays. Out to the west, San Francisco, rainy conditions for you. Heavy snow out towards the east of there. Into the ski resorts, looking quite nice, but down to the south in Los Angeles, we are expecting some light showers into their forecasts. Now down towards Central America, we had seen some very heavy rain showers for parts of Panama, Costa Rica. Those are going to start to lighten up, but very heavy rain showers across parts of Venezuela over the next couple of days. Cuba, though, you remain dry with temperatures at about 29 degrees. Over towards Europe, we are looking at some messy weather, especially down towards the central part of the Med. That weather is going to stay in place. We are looking at some localized flooding for Italy, Greece, as well as Turkey.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
China has a growing elderly population, and as a consequence of its one-child system, there are fewer younger people to take care of them. It's a responsibility that often falls to the state. Private retirement homes offer an alternative, but independence comes at a price, financially and emotionally. Faces of China, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Hello again, a reminder of our main developments in Libya this afternoon. Muammar Gaddafi has blamed the Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden for orchestrating the protests against him. Speaking a short while ago on state television, Gaddafi said bin Laden is manipulating Libyans. Meanwhile, witnesses have been telling Al Jazeera that at least 100 people have been killed in heavy fighting in the town of Az-Zawiya, just 50 kilometers west of Tripoli. And still more people are abandoning the Libyan leader. Officers from the Air Force base in Benghazi are the latest to announce that they are joining the revolution, and Libya's ambassador to Jordan has now resigned. Well, Gene Sharp is a name known to a number of people around the world, particularly in places like Tunisia Egypt and Libya. He's been the author of a number of books on non-violent struggle. He's also the founder of the Albert Einstein Institution, and he joins us now live from Boston. Gene Sharp, thank you for being with us. Your role in all of this, I'm sure you will probably suggest that you haven't played a part at all in all of this, but so many people are talking about your inspiration in what has been going on in these countries. But do you see your model being played out in Tunisia and Libya and Egypt?
I am not sure. I think people have grasped the basic elements, particularly in Egypt and in Tunisia, of nonviolent struggle, of what's required. They apparently have planned extremely well in Egypt and conducted themselves with great nonviolent discipline in difficult circumstances. I am very pleased if my writings have been useful for people, but they are the ones who are doing the action, and they are the ones who deserve the credit when credit is due.
All right. Well, as we speak, Mr. Sharp, we're seeing live pictures from Az-Zawiya in Libya, where we have been reporting some strong clashes between protesters and from the forces of Mr. Gaddafi. But as I say, since a lot of people have brought up your name in the context of these uprisings, but I guess probably a lot of people also haven't read your books because you're not necessarily speaking to audiences in the Western world so much as these folks. So please inform our audience exactly what it is that you have contributed to this conversation. What are your books about?
My books are essentially about means of struggle in difficult situations, particularly a struggle against dictatorships and oppression. And there are other different ways of struggle, not guerrilla warfare, not assassinations, not violent bombings, but about what is widely known as people power. How people can conduct their struggle self-reliantly with nonviolent means and masses of supporters when they are available and have a chance of succeeding.
When Mahatma Gandhi sort of spoke of similar principles, a lot of people thought that what he did in India was perhaps a one-off and couldn't be replicated. But it seems as if he was right, and that you are right, and that the non-violent process can actually yield results all the time.
Yes, when my big book, The Politics of Nonviolent Action, published in 1973, first came out, the anthropologist Margaret Mead said that I was maintaining that this is a cross-cultural phenomenon, not limited to any one society or culture or political system, but is more universal. And I think she was quite right on that. And the old stereotypes, this could only be done in India against the British and nowhere else, that's gone. The truth has come out with what people have done elsewhere and have demonstrated that this can be done by people in many situations, including